There you are. Welcome to Zen Fits here in Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world. But then you too are at the center of the world. And I've talked about that several times. It's still confusing. The title of today's talk is When the Soccer Ball Explodes. When the soccer ball, imagine you're playing soccer and the soccer ball just blows up. You can't take it. It quits. Usually there's an explosion when you have a contradiction or when you have a tension that keeps accelerating, wah, 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 like a mic in an amplifier, wah, 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 wah. You know, the Cold War was an accelerating wah, wah. The Cold War was feared. I remember, because I was living in it, the great fear of the Cold War, that it was going to explode with an atomic bomb. That finally it was like the left and the right, Russia and the West and the East, Russia and the U.S. were just going wah, 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 wah. And this was very real because the atomic bomb, if you send a bomb over to the other side, they would send bombs over to your side, and the whole world would blow up because you couldn't stop it. It's like a nuclear reactor. You see, the nuclear reactor works because it's controlled. It's controlled violence. It's controlled energy, a contradiction. That the nuclear reaction has a battery, electricity. Take a battery. What's that? A battery, well, let me see, good. It is a controlled yin-yang. This is, it's oblong, but this is positive, this is negative. And the yin-yang, or the Tao, controls it, so it creates awakening. In other words, when you have a contradiction, a wah-wah, that is controlled or contained, it generates usable energy. But if it's not contained, it will go wah, 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 panic attack. Even our minds are like that. When there's a contradiction in your mind, a wah-wah, I should do this, but I want to do that. I must do this, I must do that. But they're opposite. They're contradictory imperatives. I must do this, I must do that, but they are incompatible. They don't fit. See, that creates a wah-wah where whoa, 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 panic attack, or give me a martini. So this is a very universal idea here that you can apply to everything. But let's get back to the soccer ball if I can. The metaphor here is when the soccer ball explodes, it's because the game, let's using soccer as a metaphor, can't progress to the end. It just goes wah, 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 wah. In other words, the teams are not moving towards a win when you can say, I win, or I win, you see, and when we go home and have a beer. The soccer ball explodes when nobody can win, so it just keeps going, wah, 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 wah. It's kind of like a tennis match of masters. Once in a while, you'll get two tennis players who are so perfectly matched that neither can win. So it may go on all day. The game may keep going forever until one of the players just has one doubting thought. And it would be just that one thought by which he would lose when they're perfectly matched. So this whole idea of the wah-wah, or the soccer ball, will explode when the opposites are in one situation And they just go round and around and around and around. All right, here. Well, let's take my mark. This is one situation. Martini glass, it's one. But within this one, you've got two. You've got one monkey here, and you got one monkey there. And each one wants the banana. But they're equal. So they go round and around and around and around and around and around and around, you see. Neither one can subdue the other one because they're equal, you see. So when you get a situation where the monkeys are equal but opposite, you get a wah-wah, either in society or in your mind. It doesn't make any difference. The wah-wah is the same. The equation is the same. When you have two imperatives that must be obeyed, but they're contradictory in the same situation, they're going to create a wah-wah. And this is the formula for either destruction, violence, or creativity. So when the wah-wah gets going, when you have a tension or a contradiction in your mind, oh, should I do this or that? Or just how do you create a work of art? How do you fix a machine? How do you do anything when there's two ideas that are contradictory? If there's no contradiction in your mind, you just do it. No problem. You just do it. But if there's a contradiction, should I do this or should I do that? Oh, I don't know. Wow, 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 wow. Well, would you call a tech support? Call the philosopher. Call the priest, call the, ask your group, what should I do? Should I do this or that? Call your therapist, whatever. We're stuck. Wow, 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 wow. We sleep. Can't sleep at night. Wow, 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 wow. Our life becomes turmoil. Wow, 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 wow. And then there is a moment where the situation, or in our case, in this example, the amplifier either explodes or it creates a new way of being, or creates a creative idea that contains the opposite. So all creative ideas are basically new ways of containing the contradictory polarity. So you either have a nervous breakdown or shoot the other person. News is full of a failure of creativity. A failure of creativity is when you have a wah-wah in your life and you just shoot yourself or the other person. You get in the news. Somebody's in jail and they just say, well, I just went to get some gas and now I'm in jail for life because the wah-wah in my mind exploded and I shot the other guy for no reason. Anyway, I digress. But the point of the soccer ball exploding now, you see the metaphor working with you. The soccer ball explodes when it's caught in a wah-wah. When it's caught in a wah-wah. And this can be either in society, or if we look back to the 50s, the whole civilization was caught in the wah-wah of the Cold War. And if the Russians hadn't run out of money and could no longer compete, we might have had that nuclear soccer explosion of the soccer ball just exploding. The two teams neither could win, you see. Tomcats are great examples. Tomcats, you got one situation, your yard. You got two tomcats. Each one wants to be the one Tom. They're going to have one Tom in a yard. So they face off. Wow, and you can hear the tension build. Wow, 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 wow. And if neither one blinks, they go together like that in fury. In a fury. If one blinks, oops, it slinks away. You see. If neither can blink, wow, explosion. The soccer ball explodes, you see. This is everywhere. You can see it everywhere, particularly in your own mind. So the source of creativity is going to be your wah-wah. When you have a wah-wah, when you have a tension building, I don't know what to do, I don't want to do, I don't know what to do, pew, I know what to do. And then you do it. Pew, I know what to do. And knowing what to do is a new way to contain the opposites. Not one or the other, because you can't have one or the other. They're incompatible because they are equal. When the opposites are not equal, no problem. The dominant side says we're going to do this. Like in marriages. You got two equal polarities, male and female. Now society has worked out the dilemma here by structuring it so that the male is dominant. So the female surrenders to the male when there is a decision. Let my husband decide. He knows what to do. Let him decide. He controls foreign policy. Let him decide, you see. That solves the wah-wah. But when both want to decide, but each one wants to decide something different, you're going to have a wah-wah, 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 wah. And then you have a fight. And usually in marriages, that creates great sex. When marriages, male and female come together in sex. That's what sex is. It contains the wah-wah. No sex, shoot each other. So anyway, that's playing with the idea here, but you get the idea. When there is a wah-wah, it's either going to be destruction, where you just shoot the other guy or yourself. You shoot the other guy or yourself, or a creative idea explodes. Creative idea is an explosion. Creative idea is a aha, and suddenly everything is different. Why? You know what to do. You know when you know what to do, you know who you are. When you know what to do, you're at the center of the world. There's no obstacle when you know what to do. When you know what to do, there's no impediment. There's no opposite of your mind is no longer split into two opposite ideas or frames of reference. You see. So when you know what to do, you're one. You're one in that knowing, and that knowing is doing. And then you just do it. And there's nothing to stop you because there's no impediment in your own mind. So all impediments are in the mind, not out there. The world is not an impediment. It's your own mind that's an impediment. It's your own mind that defeats itself. But first you got to go into the wah-wah. But first you have to sit in the wah-wah. That's what Zen calls zazen. Zazen is sitting in the wah-wah until the creative idea explodes. You don't go to destruction when you allow the wah-wah. When you allow the wah-wah, the energy, the nuclear reactor to rise up to its saturation point. When it rises up to its saturation point, if you are allowing it, if you're welcoming it, if you're sitting in it without doing anything but just allow, and you just get to that point, it's not going to be where you shoot yourself. It's going to be where you explode into a creative knowing or a new way of being. And in Buddhism, this is called Kensho. Kensho or Satori. I know. And you don't know where this knowing came from because it has no cause. It doesn't come from the wa or the wa. It doesn't come from the polarity. Anyway, when the soccer ball explodes. Thanks for dropping in. Happy Sunday.